are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Probably not me. Probably you make me laugh. Or maybe not. But we have some laughs coming up. I think. I hope. Maybe. Not off to a good start. Quick before we get knock him out. See that? What I'm saying? Really tried to get in there. He tried to sneak in. Tried to sneak in the back door while the music was playing, but I wasn't having it because there'll be no backdoor action around here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Halloween. It is Tuesday, October 31st, 2023. Terrible, ugly day out here, and I hope it remains that way to squash all the trick-or-treating. Well, we don't get that many anyway. But you know what? I hope it snows 15 feet in the next 20 minutes to keep these pesky kids from taking my candy. I don't really care about the candy. Do you care about the candy? Yes, you do. Just to start off, my wife Elizabeth thanks everybody for their birthday wishes. She doesn't know really how to use social media. Can't go thanking everybody individually. So she asked me to say that. So thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. We had a little thing here with the stepdaughter and the grandson, and it was a nice night. She enjoys having her family, and that's all that matters. Anyway, what's going on back there? People doing strange things back there. It must be Willie. Must be Willie playing games. See, this is we're gonna have to put him back in the freezer. If anybody has space in their freezer, because I got a lot of like birthday cake and stuff left over in my freezer, but probably could use some room to put Willie in there. Anyway, as promised, I'm gonna lose some fans here today, and not that I have a lot of fans. And this is the crux of the thing that I want to talk about is if you don't have a lot of fans, you really shouldn't be turning fans away and alienating fans and making them hate you. Listen, I do that every day on this program, but this is not the same as what I'm talking about performing live. If you're somebody, and I'm not somebody like this, fortunately, knock on wood, and it's not for my doing at all. It's for the reputation the band has built up over the last 25 years. I have a room full of fans every time I perform. A solid room full of fans. The smallest gig we had was just about a month ago. We had maybe 75, 100 people there, and that was shockingly small for us. And but there was some stuff going on that night anyway. But why am I saying all this stuff? Well, let me just back up a little bit and saying, if your friends are in the wrong, standing by them is loyalty, but it's not always support. Sometimes you need to take a friend aside and say, dude, you're fucking up. You really can't afford to do this. So if you're somebody in the performing arts and your big crowds are 10, 15 people, and you're trying to make a career out of it, touring around, and you're always complaining about how you have no money and how the rich fat cats are running the stuff. You really can't afford to just piss off the 7 fans that you have, or 8 fans that you have. I don't know, 8 might be an exaggeration here. Trying to not make this personal because I like the guy who did this to himself yesterday. And I would love to be able to take him aside, but he's a stubborn person, and I know stubbornness. I'm a victim of it, or somebody a victim of it, a practitioner of stubbornness myself. When I think I'm right about something and somebody tells me I'm wrong, my first instinct is to fight back. But if you're intelligent enough and have lived long enough, you learn to listen and think, maybe they're right. Maybe I am being wrong. Maybe I really should re-examine this stuff. I'm a fan of Billy Wayne Davis. I am. I consider him a friend. I don't know if he considers me a friend. There are a lot of people who are who somehow, because he's very funny and has got the respect of comedians who have big followings. A lot of people who are sucking up to him and just kind of playing along with the stuff that he was doing yesterday. If you don't know, and if you don't follow this, and I'm sure there most of the people listening to this don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Billy Wayne Davis, comedian, and you might not even know that. I've seen him a couple of times. Both times I saw him, there dreadfully small crowds, making me wonder how he even affords to go from city to city. Yesterday he was on Twitter uh, with his poster about his tour dates, and one of his fans asked about the font. The font was unreadable, and it is pretty. If you look at the poster, it is really hard to read. But that's not the point, and it was never about the point. About the font. The point wasn't about the font. The point was for visually impaired people, it would be good to put alt text, which it takes nothing to put alt text. If you know what alt text is, it's just a text that goes in the background for people who are disabled, have visually impaired things, or blind, and it can read the text so that you don't, if you can't see it, you still know what it says. Somebody asked him to do that, and he got all angry and started fighting with and punching down on a guy who was a fan wanting to go to his shows but couldn't see the dates. And you know what? I'm not visually impaired, and I couldn't see the dates. And even when I clicked through to get to his website, because in the thing he said he was in New York City, there's nothing on his website about New York City. So it's not a good thing for his fans. And he wonders why nobody comes to his shows. His rooms are empty almost all the time. I mean, even with friends of his really working hard to promote him, he plays to empty rooms. Again, very funny guy, extremely funny guy. Talent isn't enough. Sometimes you have to promote stuff. But he got into a war now and lost, I think, a considerable number of fans. People who were saying they were fans of his, but why are you doing this? Why are you being so harsh to this guy who just said, could you put all text in it? And he wanted to make, they want me to apologize for a font. Nobody ever asked him to apologize for a font. People were upset that he was punching down on a guy who was mildly asking for some help to be able to purchase tickets. And I don't want y'all at my show. You humorless fucks don't deserve to laugh. And we have people like Colin Craig jumping on, trying to, play with Billy Wayne, suck up to him and act like he's doing the right thing by being an asshole to people who were his fans and people who said they were his fans, and he was losing him. He got even more angry, and it just kept piling on. And he kept coming back and saying like this doesn't bother him. He finds this funny. Well, bullshit alert. If it doesn't bother you, you don't keep at it all day long until 2 o'clock in the morning, my time, which is probably 11 o'clock his time, right? Somewhere around there. Anyway, if you care about the guy, you really should take it offline and say, and not kiss up to him and try to jump on the bandwagon and say, yeah, it's all about the font. It's not about the fucking font. It's about punching down. And I've been on this kick for a while because of the Segura thing. We know about the Segura thing. Tom Segura is a classic punching down comedian and making an art form of punching down. And I think the last thing we need to do is to encourage our friends to do it. And again, if he's your friend and you care about him, you don't want to. You don't want to let him walk on the railroad track. The guy's got no fucking following as it is. And he's encouraging people not to come to his shows. All 7 of the fucking following that he has, he's telling, fuck you, don't come to my shows because you complained about my font. Now, listen, the graphic artist can get emotional about the font. And he said he had to pay for the poster. If you see the poster that he's got out there, and if he paid for that, bad on him. It's a rank amateur poster. So I'm thinking he did the font because I know as a graphic artist, when I've gotten feedback from people I worked for about the font, there was a little bit of emotional kickback there. Like, hey, wait, you're criticizing my work. Because I can't imagine being that upset that somebody asked you to have a clearer font so they can fucking buy your tickets. But when it comes to the stubbornness, I definitely get that. I've been guilty of that so many times. And, even on this subject, if somebody wants to change my mind now, I'm open to that discussion. But I really felt like it hurt to see somebody I like who struggles to fill rooms telling his fans not to come, especially when he doesn't have a lot of fans. And that's the truth, folks. I know that there are some people who are very loyal to him that are listening right now who are going to tell me I'm a fucking idiot or leave this broadcast and not support what we're doing because I've said that. I'm well aware of that. But it needs to be said, man. If you're not a friend, if I'm doing something like that, take me aside and say, stop. If I'm telling my fans, fuck you, don't come to my shows, which I will never do. I mean, I basically beg people for 25 years. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, bring them out, come to my shows. I would never say, fuck you. You don't like my font, stay home. And again, it wasn't about the font. It was about asking for something that takes really 1 second to put an alt text line in there. Or at least a word to your web designer to say, I'm putting out dates. Could you actually put them on the website? Whatever it takes, but make it easy for your fans to come see you. Anyway, trick or treat. Got any candy for me? I'm going to bring the guys in. Even Willie.
I want to apologize. First of all, mind dog coffee. I don't always drink coffee, but when I do, I get the shits.
Oh, by the way, thank you. Thank you for that. But there's a poll Kelly put out on Willie's Conway Kids. Is that it? Conway's Kids? And there's a lot
Conway's
of Conway's
Cool Kids.
Conway's Cool Kids. I'm just thinking there are more Conway's Cool Kids than there are Billy Wayne Davis fans this morning. So,
Wow.
I know. I'm being brutal. But hey, if you could see the thread, he's beating up on blind people.
Yeah, that's not good. I never say bad things about blind people. I always write them down.
That's right.
Well, he's right. He's right. So obviously they can't see it, but it's people that are reacting to it. Like, why are you doing this? There must be something going on in your life, because this is not.
Right.
People are saying, "I know you. You're not this kind of mean." It's not mean. It's stubborn. You've criticized me, and now I got my hair on my back up, and I'm gonna,
Right.
But
Speaking of have things going on in their life, you might have something going on in your life much sooner than you think. Do you realize that, Matt?
what do you mean? What do you mean? You
Well,
mean because I drink my dog coffee and I get the shits?
No, when I was doing my research for different stories this morning, I found out that last week the Republicans put Santos up for they nominated him to get like kicked out or whatever,
Right,
and they're going to vote on that this week.
Right, that's
And
not
if
a
they
good thing.
vote, huh?
That's not a good thing.
But if they vote on that, they're going to have a runoff election, bro.
Right,
Like, which means it's going to happen like now.
right.
And I think like you got a better chance at it because you've been already kind of doing it a little bit. You know what I mean?
I don't think I necessarily already qualify that. I think I have to start my I have to go to the Federal Elections Commission. If they decide to have a runoff election, they give you like 2 weeks, and you got to rush to get your paperwork in and all that kind of stuff. But it's
so because now that doesn't count since you're already like hooked up for the next election cycle anyway.
No, because they will still have that election cycle in 2024. What the runoff will be is for somebody to serve in the interim.
In the interim,
from now till then. So it's a whole new election, and it's like I got to get the paperwork in, and so Republicans and Democrats have a much bigger advantage than an independent like me.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't want him exposed. I want him to be around because he's the only chance I have to win is to run against a guy who's gonna be.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's very unlikely that they're not going to remove him. I mean, because
here's the thing: the Speaker of the House is not even going to bring it to a vote. The Speaker of the House wants him there because he's afraid that it will flip to a Democratic seat.
Right. Because they're only at like 10 Republican votes right now. Yeah.
Right. So we got all that going on, but I don't think that. I think that's a negative for me in the long run. And you know what? I'm not even sure where if I really want to win. I'm not even sure I really want to win. I mean, it would be very cool to be able to stand on the floor of the House of Representatives and call out these guys one by one about where their money comes from and who they're really working for and all that kind of stuff. But it would mean going to Washington, D.C. and pretty much staying there. I mean, coming home for weekends, I guess, occasionally and getting some weeks off. But mostly I would have to sort of get a residence. I would have to get a residence in Washington, D.C. and plan on staying there for 2 years. I want to do this.
Right.
I want to go out and do gigs in May and all that kind of stuff. I'm waiting for the way May, spring and summer months to come back so I can.
But look at how many gigs you get as congressman.
How many in Washington? I mean, there's no beat gig. There's no beat gigs in DC.
There are a lot of congressmen that are musicians who do their little side gigs and they do their little band things. Yeah.
Hey, listen, a lot of people attribute Clinton winning the election to him playing the saxophone.
No, they attributed to him playing saxophone on black television. That's him playing saxophone because he's been playing saxophone for years and blowing other things too. But it wasn't until he did it on Arsenio Hall that he got black cred.
Yeah, they were like, "What? Hey,
you can't be gigging and you can't be gigging and play and being in Congress at the same time." He was
gigging with the niggins. That's right.
Hey, listen, the whole reason I don't have the reason I don't have ConwayComedy.com is because while Kellyanne Conway was in college, she tried doing comedy for a little bit and she bought the domain. And I refuse to buy the domain from her. I'm not going to give that bitch money. No way.
Wow.
Like, it's not happening.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, Kellyanne Conway owns ConwayComedy.com.
And she's still doing comedy while she was, didn't you hear that? alternative facts. That was like
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it turns out she was a comedian. That's right. You're right, GD. You know, good.
Haven't heard much from her since she left the Trump team.
Yeah, I mean,
before.
she's probably hoping people forget about her. To be honest with you.
Well, she's busy divorcing. She's busy getting divorced.
How long does that take?
It depends on the state you're in. If you're drunk, it could take forever. If you're sober, it took me a year. But I'm in Maryland, and it was like in Maryland, they don't have this was my first marriage. They don't have no fault divorce, so to speak. You had to be, if it's like, we just wanted to be not married anymore.
Right.
And so we had to not be under the same roof for a year and not had sex for a year. And then we could have our divorce if no one's at fault.
Are you kidding me? That's like part of the rules.
unless it's changed, because I've been divorced from my first wife for like 19, 20 years.
Wow.
So things could have changed. It's not like I did the update on
I want to know who's checking on that. Who's doing the have they been bucking check? You know,
they ask you.
The same people who are locking people up for gay sex and whatever, they're peeping in windows or something, whatever they're doing.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
What they do is they ask you, and they do it in front of the magistrate, the person who is going to be signing off the papers, and then they look at your faces to see how you answer. And we're sitting across from each other, and goes, so they said like, have y'all had sex in the past year? We're both like, fuck no. Yeah, like, oh, we believe you. We believe you. Like, but if you go like,
not together.
But
right, yeah, not together, yeah.
October, September. I think it's been a year. No, they just like, no.
So, but that no fault divorce. Do you know that the Speaker of the House, the new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, he blames no fault divorce for the mass shootings, the rise of mass shootings. Yeah.
How do you blame divorce?
Because he blames the no fault divorce and feminism. That just women are driving men crazy, and it's really the women's fault for.
Oh my God! Dude.
Actually, I think I see his point. If you have a no fault divorce and the woman gets the guns as part of the settlement, since most mass shooters are men, I think we can blame no fault divorce because if the women get the guns, we don't have all those shootings.
No, I don't think that's his point. That the women get the guns. I think the men get the mental illness. They get so frustrated with the women getting a no fault divorce, and I don't own her. The fact that I don't own my wife is so frustrating to me that I got to go shoot up everybody in the world.
Yeah, but a lot of those people are incels and aren't married anyway, so they're not being divorced. So that also goes against his argument.
We're kidding around here, but this is absolutely a serious contention by the Speaker of that. This guy is two pubic hairs away from the Oval Office, and he basically believes in the idea that women's rights are responsible for all the problems that we face in the world. That women,
I mean, that's dumb. Why would you like?
You know, his wife.
For one, I don't understand why people shirk personal responsibility so heavily. You know what I mean? Like, life's a whole lot better, and you can do a whole lot more, even when you mess up. Listen, bro, I've messed up plenty in my life, and there were times that I messed up and owned my shit. And was accountable to what parts I played in it, and I was able to bounce back from those much faster than the times that I was in denial over what the issues were, what I needed to fix. You know,
yeah, but you did that to get your sentence reduced. That's why you took responsibility to get your sentence reduced. I'm just teasing.
Right? Yeah. No. You know, and
if you want, we could take a drive down to Maryland and fucking slap the hell out of him. If you want.
I mean, I don't think that's helpful.
But it would be fun. It would be fun.
I mean, it would be fun. It probably would be fun. That
Right.
is true. You know, that's actually how I got in so much trouble back in the day. Is listen, a lot of those troublesome things were a lot of fun to do. You know,
Listen,
like,
trouble and fun are definitely related. They're definitely related somehow. They're
yeah,
cousins or maybe
yeah.
brothers. Maybe. Well, and just coming back to the Speaker of the House guy, you know, when he was 31, he adopted a 14-year-old kid he met at a anti-gay rally as a single guy. He adopted
Is that the black child? Is that the black
a
son?
14-year-old black boy who was at a anti-gay rally. As a single 31-year-old, he adopted him. That's a little kind of weird.
Yeah, that's because we know that child labor laws are kind of like iffy when you're the parent. I think he was just trying to get around slavery.
Right.
I said, do the dishes. You'll eat when I say you eat. You'll eat when I say you eat. I'm your father, massa, father. Wait a minute. What's that contract say?
It's just weird. Like,
What's
why
that contract?
a 31-year-old single guy and a 14-year-old boy, you know, and come live with me type of thing. Now, meeting him at an anti-gay rally, like anti-gay rally, like we're gonna have a rally to say don't be gay. I think most of the guys there are latent homosexuals who are.
I mean, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people that are against those things, especially vehemently, boisterously like that or whatever. It's there's a lot of times a shrouded sense that they're hiding from themselves.
Completely. And now his wife has a anti-gay counseling, gay conversion therapy counseling service. She just took her website down last night, but she offers conversion for
Why'd she take her website down?
Because her husband's speaker.
Because her husband's speaker and doesn't want all the scrutiny that comes with it. Gay conversion therapy is still
oh yeah, and it should be. That's fucking dude.
Look,
are you fucking serious?
We couldn't handle conversion to the metric system. You think we could handle conversion from gay to straight? Conversion does not work in this country.
There was a guy, David, a makeup artist who I used to work with when I worked for Hair Design TV, and he was flamboyantly homosexual, and gay rights was his number one, you know, issue that he was dealing with. And at the time, Michelle Bachmann was a proponent. Her husband was a proponent of gay conversion therapy, and he told me that they use electroshock therapy.
That's
like
fucking terrible.
Yeah,
That's
they have them
goddamn
look
terrible.
at images and shock them whenever they see a man, and
Dude,
don't
that's
shock them
straight. That's fucking Clockwork Orange bullshit. Why the fuck would you even do that?
Because
That's
because you bought an abundance of nipple clamps at these closeout. You went to Ollie's, you bought the last of the nipple clamps. You got to do something with them.
Got to do something with it, and you have this.
Yes,
and you have this old car battery laying around. Might as well have some fun with the gay guys.
Listen, I like getting electrocuted as much as the next guy, but when you do it to people against their will.
If you look at this chart, we're the next guys. Matt, do you like being electrocuted?
No, but he does.
Okay.
And now let's go back to him.
Dude, it's nice.
I'm liking it.
I also like getting whipped and shit. Listen, I'm a weird motherfucker. I don't know if you guys do not realize this. I thought about doing a video
Willie, I don't mind, Willie. I do not mind you being weird. I mind you bringing in the next guys into this. Okay, we're the next guys. You don't bring. Oh, okay, let's put it this way. Don't bring me into it. Matt can speak for himself. He's a grown man. He has a dyed mustache. Obviously, he's a grown man. He can speak for himself, is what I'm saying. Don't bring me into this. Don't say
I didn't know I did. Did I? How did I do that? What did I do?
You said I like being shocked as much as the next guy. Okay,
oh, right. Yeah. No, I did say that. I said that for comedic effect. God damn it.
Well, I didn't find it funny, and neither will my spouse, who has these batteries and nipple clamps.
Right. I apologize. I used the GD word.
I hope
I'm not supposed to do that.
Egged tonight. I hope your house gets egged and toilet papered. And anything else that comes along with it.
I
Anyway,
forgot that I can't say that. That's
I'm
like the
coming
one
back.
thing I'm not supposed to say is I'm not supposed to blasphemy.
I just want to come back to the Conway kids, cool kids poll. I don't think Will was a coffee drinker, but hey, I might be wrong. What's in the white cup of his? The choices are coffee, the dew of mountains, surely not water. Should we even ask? And just shut the fuck up, Kelly. It makes him funnier. Now, surely not water is so far the big winner, 60%. But we need more people to vote on that poll.
I mean, surely not water. I mean, anything but water is a right answer. Then I mean
that's true. Anything but.
I mean,
water.
that's
kind of a cheesy, easy way out. Really,
it is. It is.
I voted for coffee just to be a contrarian.
Oh, so I wanted to bring something up to you about this. So we got our coffee. We got our coffee.
Hey, and what do you like?
And look at the font. Look at the font on that thing.
Do you
The font
see?
sucks.
Hang on. This. You see? Can you read that?
Whole bean breakfast blend. Yes.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
else?
Well, we got plenty grinders around here, but they're all for weed.
It wasn't supposed to be whole bean. It was supposed to be ground. Fuck.
My wife was like, "These are whole beans," and I was like, my bad."
Kelly, she'll get them.
Use your weed grinder to
I don't think the weed grinder will work. Although we do. I mean, I do have one. I do have one that's got like a little crank wheel on it that I do kind of want to try.
Well, get your monkey and stop spanking it. Let him grind your coffee beans.
I don't know how. That's got to be a mistake because I definitely ordered ground.
Yeah, I mean, well, anyway. That's what we got.
I don't even know my own customer service line. Let me see if I can get through to them today and see if we can get you a replacement.
Or today's their anniversary. Happy anniversary. Somebody send them bean grinders.
I mean,
happy anniversary. I forgot about that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Your whole bean grinders in the mail.
Right. And speaking of GD mentioned masturbating. I am definitely not allowed to. You did. You mentioned. I swear to God, I heard.
I didn't hear it.
I heard it. Maybe I wanted to hear it. I don't know.
Somebody brought up.
I think it was in there though. I think if we roll it back, I swear to God, he made a quick mention. Huh?
No, I said massa. I was talking about the Johnson. Adopting a black child and saying and instead of him, who's your father, is like massa. Yeah, that's I said massa.
Just like 90 seconds ago, bro. You said, I swear to God, you did. We'll have where are we at? 32 minutes. I'm gonna look back at like 31:30 after today's episode. I'll be like, I know. But anyway, so I'm not allowed to participate in No Nut November. My wife was like, under no circumstances are you allowed to do that. That's like, you can't just decide for both of us that we're not having sex this month.
No. You did not decide that you weren't having sex. You decided you weren't going to come. Now you can edge yourself. You can go the whole way. You can get her off. You can still participate in
I don't know, bro. Like, when was the last time you had blue balls?
Never.
No, it's not blue balls.
Never? Yeah.
Never.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you something. Like I think that's like when you get that as a teenager, like it sucks and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But you get that shit as an adult, and I don't know, maybe it hurts me worse because I only got the one, so it's like twice the pain in one nut or something. I don't fucking know. But dude, blue balls hurts me so bad now.
I get that. I understand that, but I also understand that would make your No Nut November even more significant and more meaningful if you were willing to go through all that.
Oh, I totally would. I would totally. Yeah. I mean, my wife knows that. I mean, dude, I've been the kind of person like I went down on more girls that I haven't had sex with than I've had to, for sure.
Yeah, I think the two of you are missing the whole point of No Nut November.
What do you mean?
Yeah, well, it's a merchandising thing, and they're trying to sell tantric yoga books, so that people can hold it for all of November in preparation for Christmas. People are trying to sell tantric yoga books.
Bro, if I do this in like a tantric energy kind of way, she ain't gonna walk till next year by the time December 1st rolls around. You know what I mean?
Are you sure that?
Like that'd be
But what
so
if she's
bad.
also a practitioner? See, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Your wife has to be able to defend herself. I can't speak for her. I won't even try.
Thank
Get her
God.
on the air. Go get her in the air. Get her on the air. Okay.
No way.
Go.
Oh, bro, she
No.
did that one day, or at least she did in the comments.
That's
You remember that? I was really braggadocious that day, and she totally backed me up in the comments and stuff. She'll totally back me up. That's one of the things I love about my wife is that I get to talk
That
crazy.
she's a
And she
hostage?
says, "Yeah, it's
That
like
she's a hostage and just agree with no.
she's a hostage." No.
So, did I mention that we have a comedian coming on at 10:15 today? Allison Diane comedy. I'm dying laughing.
Out of
She's
Boston.
from Boston.
Hey,
Boston.
Boston.
Yeah.
Boston.
Would y'all have a question about her? And I want to hear her accent first. I want to hear her speak first.
Oh.
She's in the second hour.
10:15.
Yeah. She's the only.
Do you
hour.
want to do? I have 2 news stories. Do you want to do the news?
Do the news? Hold on 1 second though. I want to just read something here. Okay. Yeah, we could do the news. I have to have the news thing. The thing.
Yeah.
I gotta have the thing. Without the thing, we can't have news. So I just wait here, and we can just wait till I press the button for the news. By the time I press the button, it'll be tomorrow's news. Anyway. And now, the news that Willie can't hear.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah,
I know, and then it's gonna play, and it's gonna mute me. It's all gonna be delayed. It's gonna be weird. Am I on? Is it news time? Is it? Am I supposed to do the news now? God damn it! I don't know what's happening anymore.
And now the news. Your music is
Fucking. What in the hell? Seriously. It's playing in my headphones right now. It's right. And now the news.
Wow.
All right.
That's so weird.
Sunday, the sound man of Mile High Stadium trolled the departing Kansas City Chiefs fans after their loss to the Broncos by playing Taylor Swift's Shake It Off as fans exited.
Wow.
Hats off to that guy. That's some
Wow.
fucking top-notch fucking shit right there.
Yeah, it is a little brutal.
That's fucking hilarious. Agility Robotics is opening its RoboFab factory in Salem, Oregon. The manufacturing facility will be able to produce 10,000 units a year of the humanoid robot Digit. Digit is a humanoid robot that can perform various tasks such as carrying boxes, opening doors, climbing stairs, collaborating with humans, and adapt to situations, which means they'll probably take over the world in 2025.
No. What that? Okay, that last part of that sentence, a robotic co-worker that can collaborate with humans and adapt. That is robot speak for sex. Okay.
Is that what that is?
Most people, what are they going to do with their robots? Most people.
I mean, that is what Howard did with the robot.
Yes, and that's what that sentence is. That sentence is like a disclaimer. It's like you can do what you want with your robot. He will collaborate with you.
I mean, they have sex robots. They have some like really realistic sex robots now.
Yeah, but how many of them open doors?
Listen, you don't want to put your penis in something that could actually yank it right the fuck off, like fucking Mighty Joe.
Right. Right. It thinks it's holding the screwdriver. All right. Anyway. God, I love that show.
You might as well if you're into that, you might as well get a real sex robot where you can call the sex robot hotline and get 24/7 support on it rather than try and use, because listen, I know people will use like Black & Decker tools if they have to, but if you're gonna fuck a robot, I would think you would fuck a robot made for fucking, not a robot made
This
for.
bot is made for fucking.
Oh my god!
This bot
I
is
I knew
fuck
you'd
all
go
over
parody
you.
on me right away. Yeah.
Just powers down at the end of the video. That's, oh
What
my
else
God.
we got?
We have. I think that was just two. I said I just had two. I got
Okay,
two.
just two.
That's it.
That's
it.
nice. Now, how does it say the price of the robots?
No, and they're not. They won't be available until next year. So, although if you're a part of the agility robotics, like they have some sort of group or whatever, some of those people will be getting some like test robots to get feedback on how they are. I don't know, man. It freaks the fuck out of me because maybe I've seen iRobot too many fucking times or whatever, but it scares the shit out of me, to be honest.
The reason why those robots will not be available until next year is because of No Nut November. All they have are the bolts. They can't hold them together without the nuts.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
That does create a problem.
Now, about 3 years ago, I had a Pastor Joshua K. Smith. So I always thought like that. Wasn't that Dr. Smith on Lost in Space? Wasn't that his name, Joshua K. Smith?
Yeah.
Pastor Joshua K. Smith, and he wrote a book about robot rights and rights because he's looking at it from a like a religious standpoint that at some point when AI takes over and they become artificially intelligent, they are akin to humans and should have civil rights and the rights that people have and a soul. Like when this and I know that's a really weird kind of fucking concept, but he made a pretty good case for it.
It's stupid. Okay, first of all, look how many. Okay, just do the math. There are only so many souls out there. You can tell that because of the number of soulless people there are in Washington running things. Okay, there are not enough souls to go around. So how are we going to put souls in robots when we don't have enough souls for people? Oh, it's stupid.
Well, I make that argument with the reincarnation people. Like, how could for reincarnation to work, population can't be running out of control because we have 8 billion people now. We haven't had 8 billion people. So what are you creating new souls? Because
these souls were made for fucking. That's what they're gonna do. These souls are made for fucking, and they'll fuck all over you.
I think there's a hole in your soul, GD.
I feel like somebody got into the Halloween candy a little too early today.
That's something, dude. I don't know what the fuck. Wow.
Now, are you gonna get kids in Grants, New Mexico, coming knocking on your door?
Not willingly. Not willingly.
I'm sure. My wife wants me to dress up in the Jason outfit and sit in a chair with a bowl of candy in my lap and only move when children approach me.
Okay.
Yeah. So she wants me to terrify people.
Is there a population of kids where you? I mean, because
of course.
Don't say of course, because there isn't here. I mean, last year I think we got one kid.
Oh yeah, no, there's a bunch of kids, and there's it's a smaller community. There's a lot of young kids. We got an elementary school that's like just down the road from us.
What kind of candy are you giving away?
I have no idea. My wife bought it. I haven't even looked at it. I'm going to say this. My diet. Oh my God, my diet got so fucking trashed this month, like so bad, because like she bought Halloween candy like the first week of October. Like and she's like, oh, I got some Halloween candy. I'm like for trick or treating, and she's like, yeah, if it makes it that long, and it didn't make it that long. It didn't even make it out of that week. You know what I mean? And like, so after the third bag of Halloween candy came into the house, she brought in the fourth and fifth bag of Halloween candy, and she goes, don't touch this until Halloween.
I'm not sure.
And I don't know why she sounded like Howard Wolowitz's mother just then, but anyway, my wife doesn't.
I'm not sure about
like
this comment here. I'm not sure about this.
Which
there are
one?
less animals in the world today. You know, there are more chickens than humans. We keep, as much as we eat chickens, we're adding to their population constantly.
I mean,
but
we
we're
keep making
eating
them though.
Right.
Yeah.
And in New Mexico, there's more cows than people. I think there's
Oh, yeah.
several states there are more cows than people.
Probably Montana for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. We have to fact check that.
Even South Dakota. I bet you South Dakota there's more cows than people. Bet you.
Betcha.
Because
GD,
I don't. South Dakota. I think their population isn't even 1 million. I think South Dakota's the whole state. I think is like 800,000 somewhere around there.
well, when I was in New Mexico, that was definitely the case. I don't know. I guess they're over 1 million now, but
Yeah, I mean Albuquerque's pretty popping.
pretty popping. Let me see. GD, what kind of candy are you giving away there? Are you giving away? You got kids coming to your Laurel well water, living in
When
the
kids-
boondocks.
If a kid shows up at my door, we're giving them a map and a flashlight and a compass because they are lost as fuck.
That's a lot. That's a big expect. Oh well, no, you're just expecting one.
One kid. That's
one
it.
kid.
And that kid will be going, "Excuse me, sir. Oh my God, you're black. How did I get here?"
Hey, that's just gonna make them feel more lost at your door.
Yeah. They'd be like, I saw that movie Get Out. What the hell is this?
Right.
All right,
Dude, that movie's fucking freaky, bro.
population of Albuquerque, New Mexico, 562,599. For 562,000, 500,000, a little over 500,000 people in Albuquerque. For reference, the town of Babylon in let me look this up now because I want to make sure I got it right. Town of Babylon, Long Island.
This will be great.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. So it's only 240,363. So it's about half that. But one little small town, Babylon, not the biggest town on Long Island. I think Hempstead. Let me go ahead.
I was about to say the battleship Babylon. The spaceship Babylon had more people than Albuquerque.
I know one thing. Whenever we do make it your way, my wife definitely wants to go to that Amityville house. She definitely wants to check that out.
It doesn't even look anything like it did, and it was never anything to begin with. But and I think if you go by and you stop, the neighbors will harass you because they don't like tourists coming down that block. Amityville.
Oh yeah,
not a friendly
the neighbors get bitchy if you stop and look at the house.
Yeah. Oyster Bay, the town that is part of my district that I'm running for, one of the towns is 400,000 people, so almost the size of Albuquerque. I mean, yeah. So
now, how big is the congressional district? I thought it was like 250,000 people. How big is it?
What, my district?
No, how many people are in how many people would you represent? I thought it was 250,000, but I guess I must be way wrong.
Way off. It's
like
about no, it's about 750,000. It's two little townships there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Because they haven't increased the number of Congress people, but the population keeps growing, so we're getting less and less representation. They should either cut the population.
I'm sure they're going to adjust that soon, though. I mean, they readjust those lines
with the
all
census.
the time.
Yeah, they do it every 10. They adjust it every 10 years with the census.
Well, Amityville only real horror is tourism. No.
Sequels is also their is their number one horror.
Rex Heuermann is in Massapequa Park, which is adjacent to Amityville, but the beach he was dumping bodies in is in Amityville. So Gilgo Beach is town of Babylon, but it's in Amityville. So that's a horror in itself. I haven't heard anything about that case. Attell brought it up in his bid at Levitt at Governor's. Where he was talking about we got him, and he was our Bin Laden, Rex Heuermann. But I'm talking about the Gilgo murders guy. But I haven't heard anything about that case, a follow up on that. But Amityville is, if you don't know about Amityville, I mean, it's a very weird town. First of all, the Jaws, Amity is the town in Jaws, and it's based. Right. It's supposed to be in Massachusetts, but it's really based on a Long Island thing. The guy, Captain Frank, is a Long Islander and very well known, or was very well known in the Montauk area. But Amityville Well, I went to Copeg schools when I was a kid, and Copeg is between Amityville and Lindenhurst, and it's really a nothing town. But south of the tracks in Amityville is all white people. Black people are all north of the tracks, and the people north of the tracks, they weren't even the black people, when they're not allowed to go to Amityville schools. They shipped them all to Copenhagen schools. So Amityville has a long history of like not so subtle racism.
Not so subtle.
Not so subtle, yeah. So if you're in Amityville and you're north of the tracks, go to Copeg. So there's that part of it. But yeah, Amityville's got a lot of. They have their own police department, and the police only protect the people south of Montauk Highway, the rich people, and it is very affluent. They're not like rich, but they're pretty affluent. But then the people on the north side, that's where you go to get your crack and your hookers, man.
So support the local economy is what you're saying.
That's
support the local economy.
Yeah, buy local.
A dead body buried in my yard. No, not exactly. I found a bone that led to the cops finding 7 skeletons in a little dungeon, but that wasn't in Amityville. That was in Farmingville, when I rented a house when I was separated from my wife. Basically, for people who don't know what the fuck that's all about.
Did you follow up on? I know you talked about following up on like what they ever found out from that, where those were from, or what happened, or
nothing. I can't. I got nothing. And the detective who was in charge of the case was calling me for a period because he was concerned about one guitar that wasn't recovered. When my one guitar that was stolen from my house by that same house next door,
right?
But he was following up about that, but I got nothing on the bones. A basic story is, and I'll try to be as quick as possible about this. I was working out in the yard. My wife was at a meeting or something. Even though we were separated, she was kind of coming over and staying with me in the house I was separated from her from. But she was out at the moment, and I was working out in the yard, and I saw a bone in the yard, and I started kicking at it. And then I realized, wow, this is longer than, it's not just a dog bone. And I pulled it out, and it was a long human shin bone. And I called my wife. I said, "What do I do?" Because she's a nurse, and I think she can come over and like
fix it.
No. I identify it as definitely human, and like tell me I'm not crazy. It's a human shin bone. And she said, "Call the cops." So I called the cops, and before she got there, the cops got there, and they were like asking me all kinds of questions of where I found it and all this stuff. And then they saw what used to be. It looked like a cesspool cover, but it wasn't a cesspool. It's like a well, I guess, or used to be a well. But he said, and the lid was a little loose. He said, "Oh, what's in here?" And he moved it over, and there was like 7 skeletons piled on top of each other in that fucking thing. So that's what he's alluding to.
Now, any chance that any of them will be able to vote for you in November?
What? Any what?
And are they still registered to vote? Can they vote? I mean,
I don't believe so. I think you have to have at least an ounce of flesh on you to vote.
7 pounds of flesh. You need
right.
7 pounds of flesh, actually.
But we did find on Amityville Beach, Ted is right about this, I did find a body there. Christine Levine was supposed to interview me about this for her podcast, Found the Dead Body. I was making out with an older woman on the beach in Amityville. And first we found a dead cat buried in the sand, and we got grossed out about that. And then we moved over, and we were making out again, and my hand hit like something hairy in the sand, and we dug it, and we started to push the sand away and found that it's a head attached to a body. It's the cat lady in the house who actually was the cat lady for it. Now, in that case, what happened was she went out looking for her lost cats in the middle of winter and died on the beach. And the sand just blowed her. It wasn't foul play. She just died there on the beach, and the sand covered her up.
No, foul play would be if she was looking for her bird in the winter. That wasn't foul play.
Yeah, well,
she was looking for a cat.
There was an old woman who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. She swallowed a fly. She swallowed a spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. She swallowed a mouse to catch the spider, who swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. She swallowed a cat to catch the mouse. She swallowed the mouse to catch the fly, or the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. There was an old woman who swallowed a dog.
Because the song used to have a bird in it, and not.
There's a bird.
That's why Willie's confused. He's waiting for the bird to come.
She swallowed the bird.
This is how I know you guys didn't have internet when you were young.
Well, okay. First of all, I have okay. Willie, did your mother hold you as a child? No, I'm just teasing. No, here's a question. What songs? Okay, when I was a kid, my mother used to sing lullabies to us. Do you remember the lullabies your parents used to sing y'all?
No. My mom worked a lot, and my dad drank a lot. He didn't sing lullabies. I did have.
Did he sing beer songs?
No. Okay. What I'm about to tell you. What I'm about to tell you may be one of the saddest things from my childhood, and I didn't even realize it until this fucking moment. So thank you, GD. So no, I didn't get lullabies, but what I did have is I had a bear, a wind-up bear, and it played the Go to Sleep song, and I would wind up that bear. But that bear that I had was from my brother, my half-brother that died before I was born when he was like 9 months old. That was Jacob's bear. And so I had my dead brother Jacob's bear to wind up and play Go to Sleep to me because my mother was working and my dad was drunk.
Well, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
No, but I'm glad I had that. That's what I had. Like when I reached back into my that was actually what I had.
They could have stuffed the fetus and let you and wind that up and like you sleep with a dead fetus instead of the bear.
I mean, or something. He died at 6. He was like 9 months old when he died. He died at 6 when he was like 9 months old. That's actually what ruined my mom's first marriage.
Wow. The bear could have been singing, "This is Jacob. Don't go."
Right. Yeah. Oh,
nobody sang shit to me. Nobody sang shit to me. There was no fucking songs. Go to sleep, you fuck.
Yeah.
Go to sleep or we'll beat you.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to sleep naturally, or Dad could knock you the fuck out, whichever one you wanted. You know what I mean? Like,
but Dad wants some ass tonight, so you just shut up and be quiet.
Oh, dude! Oh my God!
Whoa.
That's fucking
whoa. Speaking of that, we never. I never played any commercials yesterday. I don't know why. None. I didn't play a commercial.
I thought we did one. You said we were going to do one, and then we never played it. Is that what happened?
I never played one. No.
Wow. Well, we better do one today.
Yeah, we have a new commercial for Naked Wines, but it's not ready yet. So we're going to play the old commercial for Naked Wines.
Okay. Did you like that?
I'm not going to say I like that.
Okay, well, I mean, it's entertaining, right? It's a goof. I did it for a goof.
I'm sure Kelly will like it.
Oh, I'm sure. She better.
Whether she's going to it's going to motivate her to buy wine. Well, she probably buys enough wine on her, or probably. I mean,
she just join that club. That for the $40 you probably would have spent on wine anyway.
It's a good deal.
It's a great deal.
If you're a wino, you're not going to find a better deal.
Yeah.
I mean, even you know what, beer is really expensive these days. With the inflation and everything, I was shocked when I went to buy just a 6-pack last week. I thought I was paying because the sign in the window said $11.99 for a 6-pack, and I brought it up to the counter. The guy said $14.99. I was like, $14.99 for thin cans for a 6-pack of Heineken. Check the window, and he went back, and I would go back. He showed me, and he wrote over the 11. He made it a 4.
What a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
What a fucking piece of shit.
So anyway, Naked Wines is a good deal. You should get yourself some Naked Wines. Check it out. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. I don't think I'll make it back in time. So you guys carry on if I'm not back in time.
Man, I wanted to go have a
Welcome to a better way to buy wine. NakedWines.com is a customer-funded wine business.
No.
We don't just sell wines, we make them happen. Since launching in the UK in 2008, Angels have helped us invest in over 159 independent winemakers in 14 different countries. Turns out, it's better business for everyone. Our winemakers get to sell all of their wines and make a living. We make the same margins as everyone else and have a lot of fun along the way. And as a wine drinker, for the $40 a month you probably would have spent on wine anyway, you'll get wholesale prices. You can be sure that all of our wines have been lovingly made by a talented winemaker and stripped of all the costs that add nothing to the flavor or quality of the juice in the bottle. Support independent winemakers. Get better wine in return. With the support of 300,000 wine drinkers, we fund talented independent winemakers up front. This way, they get to spend all of their attention on making you the best wine possible. World-class wine, direct from talented independent winemakers. A better deal, up to 60% off market prices. A better way to discover tasty new favorites with over 2 million reviews from wine drinkers like you. Become an Angel today. Get started by visiting minddogtv.com and click the banner on the homepage now.
It sounds in that read like Willie's got a little bit of the Bert Kreischer thing going on. He got a little bit of that sibilance going on in there when he talks about the juice in the bottle. The juice in the...
I was prepared to do this by myself. I didn't know if he was going to make it back. I was going to change the title from Coffee with the Dog to Lithium with GD. And
that, you would be really good if you could do it that quick, and I would have much respect. What is this image you have for us? You want to bring that up now?
What it is? It's not an image. It's actually a Monster Mash version, a version of Monster Mash for Halloween. If we were going to do it,
let's play it now. Want to play it now?
Sure.
All right. Let's. You want to intro it? Does it need
okay, I'll tell you a little bit. My former bass player, one of my best friends, Phil Peters, out in Iowa.
Phil McCracken.
Phil Peters.
Phil McCracken.
Yes, yes, that's the one. And his wife Michelle are both orchestra people. You know, they're like really good musicians, and they allowed me to play guitar on this version of Monster Mash with them.
Are we gonna get sued for this? But I'm gonna play it.
No, we shouldn't, because it's.
Oh, I'm not hearing it. Oh, what the hell's going on?
Somebody's fingers was moving. It's not me, I swear.
Wow,
I'm not touching it.
That's pretty bizarre.
I was walking in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did a monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. He did a monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The fools all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did a monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The scene was rocking, all were digging the sounds. Igor on chains, backed by his bayhound. Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They played the Monster Mash. Out from his coffin, Drax's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. He opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to my Transylvania twist?" It's now the Monster Mash. And it's a graveyard smash. It's caught on in a flash. It's now the Monster Mash. Now everything's cool, Drax a part of the band. And my Monster Mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you. And do my Monster Mash. And do my graveyard smash. You'll catch on in a flash. Then you can Monster Mash.
Now, somebody should be sued for that, and it probably will be me. Oh my God, I hate everything about that. I hate everything about it.
That's great. I thought it was great.
Yeah, well, you would.
Why do you hate everything about it?
Well, first of all, Monster Mash. Every fucking Halloween, you have to fucking play that song, and it's just the worst song ever fucking written. And then I'm gonna have to play it today. I have a show at the VA, a Halloween show today. I'm gonna have to play it. I was already dreading that. I just fucking hate the song. But then to actually memorialize it and put in a video like that, we don't need to encourage more bad behavior. We need to discourage bad behavior, and that's bad behavior. No fucking Monster Mash. Bad enough I got to play it for a bunch of old people who will be like fucking comatose anyway.
Oh man,
Well,
my favorite like Halloween type song is Little Red Riding Hood. I like singing that one for.
We haven't
Halloween
played that
time.
in a while. We used to play that every Halloween. I haven't played that one in a while. Spooky is one that I mean.
I like This Is Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. 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 In this town we call home. Everybody hail to the pumpkin song. In this town, don't we love it now? That song. I love that song.
I'll probably do some Rob Zombie on my Star Maker Live today. A little bit of Dracula and Living Dead Girl, maybe.
I don't know. I was busting your balls while you were away having a smoke or whatever you were doing, jerking off, whatever the hell you were doing.
Okay.
About your sibilance in the juice in a bottle.
My what?
Your sibilance in the juice in a bottle.
My juice in the bottle?
Your sibilance in the juice in the bottle. You got a little Bert Kreischer spit thing going on when you say juice in it. Has nothing to do with the flavor of the juice in the bottle. Barbara Brennan, who was the cult leader I used to work for, she had a lot of sibilance going on when she would talk a lot. And sometimes she would say the S's. There would be like saliva spitting out every place from the juice in the bottle. I shouldn't make fun of people with.
I mean, no, it's all right. If I'm being completely honest, I think the first time I recorded that, I may not have had my teeth in, so that's probably why I had that.
That's why
problem.
it's the juice in the bottle.
Right. Now, it has that effect,
Funny thing about Barbara, when Barbara she would still go into trance sometimes, and she would go into trance and she would become Haywin from Atlantis, and she would be in Haywin, and she would still have the sibilance. Like, wow, it's like all these.
Even Haywin has it. That's crazy. So, where's that lady now?
She's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't a cult thing, was it?
No, she was fucking old.
Okay.
She was old when I met her. in 1962, I think she was in charge of NASA.
Wow.
Goddard Space Flight Research Center. She was a physicist who turned into a New Age healer and energy healer and all this stuff. I never told you about
That's
when she.
very interesting that a scientist would go that way.
The almost all the cults were scientists.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a very interesting commonality.
Not as odd as you would think. There's a lot of people who, especially in the world of physics and physicists, who they get into this world of healing. I'm sorry. Once I start, it's really hard to stop.
I have some things that I do with my mouth. If I start, I can't stop. Also, and
did I tell you about the time she did battle with Satan and sent Satan home crying?
What the fuck?
See, first day, one of the first days I knew her. Well, I might not have been the very first day. She told the story about when her daughter was an infant in her crib or whatever. Satan came to steal. I'm gonna keep saying Satan now. Hello, Allison Diane is our first guest today. Satan came to visit her daughter in the crib and steal her daughter away, and she said, "No, Satan, no, Satan, not today." And she did battle with Satan, and she defeated Satan. Yeah, not today. Nope, not today. And Satan ran from the room. He turned into an infant himself and ran from the room crying like a baby. And she defeated Satan that day. This was a story she told to all her cult members, and they all bought it like completely. And I'm new, and that was it was the first day because it's the same day she told me about going to Bali. She told this whole class. I mean, when the first day of the semester. I want to say semester. The first day of the semester is training day for teachers. And I'm in the room with there's 90 teachers, 88 of them are women and 2 dudes, and me doing audio and video work, taping the whole thing. And she gets up and she talks about, I got to stop. She talks about what she did over the break, and she went to Bali, and she was in the Valley of Souls when it came upon her to practice a new healing technique that she had discovered. And what I want everybody to do is I'd like you to stand up and spread your legs and take one finger, or this finger, let's take this finger, and put it right on your clitoris.
Oh, you lost me. Okay. I was just looking to there.
That's why I said there were 88 women and 2 guys, and the 2 guys looked at me like, what do we do? Put it on your clitoris, dude. I want you to take your finger and rub it in small circles around the clitoris. And it's a new healing technique I learned in Bali. It was like you learn to
like flicking the bean.
Yeah, she learned to flick the bean over summer vacation. she was already like 70 then.
I mean, listen, it's a great meditative practice, in my opinion. I think flicking the bean definitely leads to a better life. It does. It does.
It has nothing to do with the flavor of the juice in the bottle.
I'll tell you this:
the bag, which you have a whole bag of beans to flick now.
Right.
You're welcome.
Right. I think those coffee beans probably not good for the flavor of the juice. I'm just saying. I'm more of a you get your girl to drink some kiwi strawberry propel water. That's what I do.
Okay.
Allison Diane laughing is supposed to be here in 30 seconds. Should I give it at 30 seconds or should I go try to find her? And,
I mean, you could go try
to
find her.
You guys talk amongst yourself while I send her an email.
Okay. So, Will, your brother Jacob, did you have any of his old clothes also?
No, 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 no. At least not as far as I know. And actually, no, I'm pretty sure I didn't because. So when I say that that was actually what ruined my mom's first marriage. So what
It
ended up
wasn't being
happening
married.
is,
It wasn't
huh?
being married that married. It wasn't being married that ruined it.
No, no. It was when they lost my brother Jacob. There was kind of like a contention between them about my mother wanted to hold on to all the baby stuff, and her first husband James wanted to get rid of that stuff. And they kind of went back and forth about it for a while. But one day, my mom came home from work or whatever, and all of Jacob's stuff was gone,
Okay.
and
So
so she just packed up her shit and my older brother James and my sister Karina. She packed up all their stuff and they left. She went and moved back with her parents in
yeah,
Emmitsburg.
the first husband's name was James. He wanted to throw the baby out with the bathwater,
I mean, basically, yeah. I
or the
mean,
bathwater out with the baby.
right,
That's
right,
what
right, right.
he wanted to throw the
I mean,
bath.
the child had passed, and I think for I understand both perspectives, honestly. You know what I mean? Like I understand that it was hard for him to have that stuff there. That was just reminding him of the loss and the pain. While my mother having it there, was a way of holding on and not letting. You know what I mean? Like people grieve differently, and actually the loss of a child is a big there's a large divorce number if you look at the percentages for couples that lose a child that
Yeah,
ends in divorce a lot.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Now it's funny because my aunt Dodie lost. Well, not lost because we know where she went. She died, but so she wasn't really lost. When her daughter died, her daughter's name was Glenda, and my mother got pregnant shortly after that. Didn't want me, so she gave me to my aunt Dodie, who named me Glenn Dwayne. See, so Glenn Dwayne is actually I'm a replacement baby. It's just like
Wow.
it's like my aunt Dodie had lost a Glenda, and I became a Glenn Dwayne.
Wow.
That reminds me of a what was that Ed Wood movie, Glenn or Glenda?
First of all, you said Ed Wood movie. Isn't that when the movies are so bad nobody wants to put their name on it?
I don't
Isn't
know.
I mean,
isn't that that's the like isn't that that's the I think that's like a space holder's director's name when a movie is bad or they don't have a director and they put Ed Wood on it.
No,
And
Ed Wood was a real guy.
yeah,
He was a director of C D movies.
right.
Horror
they
movies.
made a movie about him. Tim Robbins
Yeah,
played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, Tim Robbins didn't play him. What's his name? Johnny Depp played him.
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
Wasn't Tim Robbins? Oh,
Tim
I'm thinking the Hudsucker Proxy. My bad.
That's a great movie, The Hudsucker.
Yeah. For the kids.
For the kids. It's a frisbee. It's a whammo. It's a, I gotta stop doing that, man. I'm stuck. I haven't heard back from Allison. I've emailed her. I don't know. Wow.
Maybe she's
I
on.
know she was excited about coming on the show. She planned this 2 months in advance.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. Maybe that's why. I mean, but when was the last time you had contact with her?
I sent her the thing on Sunday, and she responded back that everything should be good.
It's my fault.
Huh.
I scared her off. I was doing research again, and she was. It's like, well, first of all, I spent most of the day researching the wrong person.
What do you mean?
I was researching April, and then I realized, and then 15 minutes before the show, I'm like, I'm in the wrong interview. I'm in the wrong waiting room, and then it goes like, how come nobody's here? Max should be here by now. And so it was April, and then I went, shit, this is the wrong date. And
For
then
people
I
who don't know, April Brucker is a late booking for tomorrow. April is she's got a Las Vegas residency for years now. She's a comedian, actress, ventriloquist. Ventriloquist. Yeah, I think, and she's very risque. I've had her on the program. I've had her on the evening program before. She's a little on the blue side, which was good. We welcome that here in the morning.
We do.
And the puppets are very blue.
Oh yes, yes.
She
She's
also
bad, but the puppets are worse.
she has a Trump and Biden puppet that I think they have sex together. I don't know.
Nice.
Well, the Trump puppet likes to be spanked. I haven't seen the Biden puppet. I don't know. I don't know what I don't even know if she's ever had the Biden puppet awake long enough to do anything.
Oh no,
Maybe
the
just
Biden
sleeps.
puppet was on my show. This was when they were. I guess it was 2019 or 2020
Okay.
when Biden was running for to be nominated. She had the Biden puppet on, so she's done stuff with the Biden puppet.
Okay.
It should be a good show tomorrow. I was surprised, but she's in Vegas, so it's going to be really early for her. She's going to be on 10:15 tomorrow.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
7:15 for her. So, and
That
she has
means
this residency that she's performing Tuesday night until I don't know, Vegas, the late shows there. So good for her. I mean, she's a trooper for getting up.
she is. She's when she vamps blue. That's her default position is blue.
Right.
Some people get silly and they're like their default position is dad jokes, or whatever. Her default position is blue. So expect her to have her puppets offer you blowjobs.
I have a ventriloquist puppet.
I heard a pop.
Yeah. Calm down.
I'm sorry. Jeez.
Calm down. Ooh, I heard a pop. Oh my God. Did you hear that
I think it's happening. I think this is the time.
Something pops. Anyway, it might have been the cap to the juice in the bottle that pops. Stop it. Stop. All right, learn to talk correctly. Learn to speak. Learn to speak without the sibilance.
Oh my God. Now, before we bring this guest in, can I tell you a quick story about my grandmother?
Quick.
Okay, so when I was growing up, my grandma used to tell this story all the time about how there was this kid that used to pick on my dad a lot, but the kid had a lisp, right? And he would always tattletale on my dad about stuff he was doing in school.
Wait.
He'd run up to the car and say to my grandma, "Billy did this, Billy did that," and my grandma said to this young boy who had a lisp and didn't speak well, "You better learn to talk first."
Wow.
Like,
Grandma was a
see,
bully.
this is what I mean. The reason I'm so messed up is I come from like generations of people that were just fucktards. You know what I mean? Like,
no, we knew that. We could tell that. I think we did a DNA test on you, and it came back 100% fucked.
I would agree. I want to do that 21andMe, and I hope that I'm 2% of every nationality out there.
Okay. Now let's bring our guest in. Now that we've ruined it for her, she's probably like thinking, "What the fuck did I get myself into? I am out of here." These dudes. Allison Diane is the owner of Diane for Laughs and director of comedy for Paul Santos live show, Boston-based comedian. She's here now, and she doesn't look like she's enjoying it already. She looks like she's, what did I get myself into? Welcome, Allison. I think you're muted. We have no volume on you. We have no, you're not muted. Microphone on? No, microphone's on, no volume. Uh-oh. Anyway, you guys talk while she... Oh,
hello.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
You know what it is? I know it's wrong. It's facial recognition. On her website, she has dark hair, and here she has blonde hair. The facial recognition is not. It's get your black hair. Get the black hair to work.
No,
that's
muting it. But there's got to be a volume control on a mic or something. Down in the bottom, you see speaker settings. I'm sorry about that.
Oh wait, I think I got it. Can you
There
hear
you go. Yep. Now we hear you.
All right. Cool.
Now, Willie, you got an echo on you. Good morning.
I think it's her echo, actually.
Yeah.
Do I have an echo?
You have an external speaker that you're listening to us on?
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, I need to turn this off. Okay, I get it.
But will she be able to hear us then?
We'll use sign language.
Anyway, I'm going to go through
that
this.
Work?
Yeah.
Yes, that's good. Thank you for that. I'm going to go through this with tomorrow's guest tonight. We're having a actual run through because he's not tomorrow, Thursday's guest. the Groucho guy is scared that he's going to have this problem. He had a problem with StreamYard the last time on. Anyway, thank you for coming on. Dying for Laughs. What? Tell people about that. What is it?
So basically, I produce comedy shows in the New England area, and an open mic, and that's pretty much it. It's a comedy production company.
All right, you guys hear a Boston accent? Or no, I didn't hear one. Did you?
I mean, not really, not heavy.
So,
did you work to get rid of that?
No, I'm originally from outside of Philadelphia. I moved to Massachusetts when I was 16, so I don't think the Boston accent has affected.
So you voluntarily became a masshole?
Well, my parents took me here, so I wouldn't say voluntarily, but I guess I voluntarily stayed since then. So yeah.
Okay.
Boston.
I married a masshole, so I married into it.
Boston is a city that is. Boston is a city that is really known for great comics that come out of there. Is it highly competitive? Is there? What's the scene like up there right now as far as comedy?
It's supportive. I wouldn't say it's super competitive. There's actually a lot of shows going on, so there's a lot of spaces for people to perform. So I never got the sense that it was aggressively competitive. You know, I mean, we're all always trying to outdo each other. Obviously, we're comics, but I think for the most part, we're very supportive.
You know what's surprising? Well, the ones that become really famous out of Boston, Boston is known for its great comics, but the ones who are the big names that everybody knows all move to New York.
Yeah, I think that there's truth to that. Yeah, once you kind of make it in New England, you tend to move to New York or LA for more opportunities.
Do you have any explanation for why that is, or any kind of thoughts on why that might be?
Honestly, I think it's just opportunities. You know, if you're a comic and you want to perform on TV shows, if you want to perform on those stages that everyone knows, like the Gotham Comedy Club or like the Improv or the Comedy Store, you're going to go to New York or LA. And I think that that's sort of where the industry is. So it's where you can take your career to another level versus just being in New England. I think it's the same reason why anyone from any town goes to New York or LA.
You know,
I would only go there if it was a hostage situation. That's
New York or LA.
Right. Yes.
I want to go to New York super bad.
Super bad.
No, I will go to perform. I will go to perform. I will go anywhere to perform. I will not go anywhere to live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's that.
I lived in LA for 2 years, so I like LA, but I like the weather.
Yeah. I agree. LA though, I think this is part of where I started off this morning with that rant about Billy out in LA. LA is really expensive, so to make it as a comedian, it's even harder out there. First of all, you got two things in LA. You got people who are going out there to be famous, and they're not really in it for stand-up comedy. They're using stand-up comedy as a vehicle to get noticed, to be put on sitcoms or commercials or whatever the hell they want, movies. And so you have a flood of really competitive market out there. And then you have prices that are so expensive that you can't afford to be just an open micer and get by. You have to have a day job, and then it becomes exhausting, and you split your is that what you found when you went to LA? Is that?
Yeah, I think that's 100% true. And I was talking to other comedians about this one that were from the East Coast when I was in LA. And it's sort of when you're in LA, you're a comedian and something else. You're, like you were saying, you're a comedian and an actor. You're a comedian and a writer. Whereas, and I'm not sure about New York, but in Boston, you can just be a comic. You don't have to be a comic and something else. You might also have a day job depending on your situation, but usually the comedians here are just comedians, which I think could also be part of the reason why they have a reputation for being so good, because that's where all their focus is.
Now, see, I was under the impression that in Boston, it's not that they were comedians and nothing else. It's just that was just assumed that they were comedians and beggars. You know, that not that, you know. So you don't have to say it. Everybody assumes it. It's like if you were to mention your parents and you would describe your parents, you wouldn't say my parents are white. Everybody would assume you're white. It's if your parents were not white that you'd have to mention it. So that's why it is in Boston. They just know that they're beggars. Nobody has to mention it.
Everything has to come
Yeah.
back to race with you, doesn't it? Everything's got to be about race, doesn't it?
Okay, you want to do with the race or the dick jokes and the ass stuff? I mean, you get your choice. I'm sorry, Allison. Speaking of ass stuff, you were on Paul's show, Paul Santos' show.
Yeah, Paul Santos show.
Right. Is that a Christian show? Because I see like a lot of the Christian fishes designs on the walls.
Oh no! You know what it is? We film it at a seafood restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So they're just fish.
Okay. Now the other thing is there an audience?
Those fish were saved.
It seems like you have like one black guy who's paid to laugh all the time.
So Chops Turner is the co-host of the show. And he's a really good laugher. He's come to like my comedy shows where I'm not paying him and he laughs just like that. So I think he's just a really supportive.
Now, because I noticed that he's a laugher and a pointer also. So he's not just laughing at the jokes. He's pointing at the punchline so that other people can see where they are. Right? He's like,
those are really good to have. Zach Dresch is probably the Sioux Falls equivalent of that. He's the one that no matter what comic is up there, no matter how bad the joke is, he's like the one guy that'll still give you the laugh that at least makes you not want to kill yourself.
And it makes the show. I mean, at the end of the day, first of all, thank you so much for watching the show. And at the end of the day, it's a TV show. So I think, it helps the TV show to see his reactions. And Paul and I do a lot of dirty jokes on the show. And he's a very upstanding person, right? So some of his reactions are just hysterical when we do a lot of the dirty jokes. But I think he's helping the show, I think, when he's doing that. Laughing and everything. So when people are watching it on TV, they're seeing, his reactions and him having a good time.
Well, I hope when he gets thrown out of Congress that he has that to fall back on. Wait, different Santos? Do I have? Halloween. Now, you booked this show 2 months ago. Obviously, I'm thinking you picked Halloween for a reason. Is there a reason you picked today, or?
Honestly, I knew without even looking at my schedule that I didn't have anything booked for today. Because I love Halloween and I give out candy. That's sort of my thing. I dress up every year and I give out candy. So I knew I didn't have anything else today. So I'm like, oh, Halloween's perfect. I can do that in the morning. Then.
What do you love most about Halloween?
What will you be dressed up as when you pass out candy?
Oh, so this year I dressed up as Barbie last night on Paul's show. I'm gonna dress up as Barbie when I give out candy too.
Oh, wow.
Okay, wait a minute. Barbie is notoriously tall and thin. You are 4'9".
Yes.
You are petite, but you're just actually you do have Barbie buxoms, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do have Barbie type breastises, so you can pull that up. But the height, how do you do the height? Because in heels, if you have 5-foot heels, to borrow from your joke, if I put you in 5-inch stilettos, you're going to be 5'2". And
I apologize for his presence
like
here.
breast implants. Wow. Makeup. It's like
right.
Yes.
That's you don't need the breast. Right. You don't need the breast implants because. But, yeah. Sorry.
I love that you remember my joke. That's so awesome. Yeah. Honestly, it's a costume. It's fantasy. So I mean, I'm gonna look like probably a petite Barbie. I'll be petite Barbie.
Now, will your husband have to tuck himself to be a Ken?
He would have to if he was going to dress up as Ken, but I have not been able to get him to agree to dress up as Ken. So, to commit to the role, yeah, he'd have to do that.
Okay.
Committing to the role is everything, right? It's a big part of not breaking the fourth wall, as GD's friend likes to say. You get a lot of kids where you are. You're going to get a lot of trick-or-treaters where you are. Because I was talking. Will's in Grants, New Mexico, and he claims he gets. Yeah, we got lots of kids. I'm in Shoreham, New York. I got one kid last year. Are you going to get a lot of kids today?
I hope so. I think the weather is supposed to be decent. It's been raining the last couple days, but I think as long as it's not raining tonight, I don't know how many kids we normally get. Maybe 30, 40 kids, maybe. I mean,
wow.
I live in a like an HOA. So there's kids that live in this neighborhood that come to the house, but also parents from other neighborhoods will bring
Wait a
their
minute,
kids.
HOA, is that what, a house of adultery? What's HOA?
It's a homeowners association, kind of like a condo association.
Oh, okay. We
It's
don't
not,
have those in my neck of the woods. Yeah.
so you're not in like a public, you're not on like a public street. So people will bring their kids here. So they can,
What's a
like,
public
walk around.
street?
Yeah.
Well, like with
So-
cars running by and stuff.
Wow. So people know, because that was my next question. Do you get recognized from the television show by trick-or-treaters or people coming by, or their parents with them? Oh, we know you. You're from TV. No?
Well, the kids definitely not. I don't think they're watching Boss
Right.
Life.
You never know. Never
but,
know. Kids, kids watch adult
sometimes-
stuff now.
I get the show's filmed in New Bedford, and I live a few towns over, so I don't really get recognized in my neighborhood. In New Bedford, yeah, because it's more of a staple there, but not as much in my neighborhood. One of these days, maybe I'll get recognized on my one of my neighborhood streets.
Yeah.
Do you feel pressure on you because you're an actress, you have like a profile, and I jokingly said that the reason why your sound was works is because on your profile it says you have black hair, but obviously your hair is not black there. So is there pressure for you to maintain the exterior image to match your profile image?
So what you're looking at, I think, is probably my IMDb profile.
I can't read letters. I don't know letters. So
So that's my acting. So my acting profile on the IMDb site is an old pictures when I had darker hair. I was dyeing my hair black, but I don't really do much acting anymore. I really just do stand-up, so I just haven't updated that profile. But when I was acting, yes, there was pressure to keep looking like your headshot. So anytime you change your look, you have to change your headshot. Otherwise, when you show up at the audition, people are going to be upset because lots of times they have that brunette in their mind for that role. So when I was acting, there was definitely pressure to keep looking like that.
Did you not like acting? Did you not enjoy it, or is it just you found that it was difficult to do both, stand up and act?
No, I like it. I think I wasn't getting as far in it as I was in stand up. I think in stand up you have much more control over your trajectory than you do in acting. At least that's what I found. It was and at my age, I'm 40, so I kind of started acting late in the game. So for me, I just didn't really find a lot of success with it. But I do like the stand-up a lot more because the stand-up is really more just me being myself and writing jokes and setting my own schedule. Whereas acting was kind of like, you got your call times at 4 a.m. and, you're trying to, put yourself into a role. It's a whole other set of challenges, acting. So, I mean, for me, I think I'm probably a better stand-up than I am an actor, so I think it probably worked out.
Okay. What came first?
Acting.
Acting came first. So then you decided at some point just to try stand up, or were you doing a lot of improv? How did the evolution from actress to stand-up comedian? How did that happen?
Well, really, it was acting was really out of fear, I think, about writing my own stuff. So I always wanted to be a comedian. I know people probably say that a lot, but I remember vividly watching my very first comedy special. My parents just had it on TV, and I walked into the room, and I was a kid. It was in the 90s. It was the Chris Rock Bring the Pain special, which is still one of my favorite all-time comedy specials. And I remember seeing him, and I was just like, oh, this is so cool. He's on stage, and he's talking, and he's funny, and this is so cool. But I was very shy, and I never thought I could do that. But ever since then, as a kid, I watched, Caroline's Comedy Hour, Evening at the Improv, all those comedy shows. And then when I became an adult, I was working in the insurance industry, hating life. And I was like, I'm just going to try something creative. And acting seemed less scary than stand-up because I was afraid I couldn't write. I was afraid I wasn't a good enough writer to be a stand-up comic. So when I started doing the acting, I was like, oh, this is silly. I can write my own stuff. And then I took some joke writing classes, and I really enjoyed it. So
That's where I was going to go next, because I have no problem writing, but writing for comedy is different than just creative writing. You have to understand about setups and punchlines. I know that's something. By the way, I'll be learning that next week. I'm taking a class. Stand
And
Up
then you'll be
University.
funnier than Tom Segura.
Right. See, you brought that up too soon. We're going to go to that after we say goodbye to Allison, because I do have a comedian I want to honor as funnier than Tom Segura. It's a bit we run every day.
I Allison, now you said you always wanted to be a comedian. The thing is, you assume that most comedians start out that way. Most comedians do not start out wanting to be comedians. Most comedians start out, who hurt you when you were a child? That's most comedians.
To be honest, most of the comedians I've asked about that have not said that they've always wanted to be a comedian.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, it's almost always who hurt you as a child. And then comedy became the outlet. You're like one of the few people who like have pixie dust and stardust growing out of their jokes. You know,
I'm so distracted by what's going on with your either camera or lighting here.
It's the lighting. It's the sun has moved. First of all, I contracted the sun not to be in my light this time of day, but for some reason the restraining order is not working, and the sun is actually in my yard. It is supposed to keep 500 yards away. I apologize.
So, so you control the sun, GD?
No, I had a restraining order
against
my son. My son is not supposed to show up. I had a restraining order.
Listen, 2 years ago, my wife and I had a very big argument about whether or not I could control the sun. Because as you guys know, we got married on Halloween, and she wanted a sunset wedding. And I don't know if you know that you can't rush a woman. Like, rushing a woman is like a big deal, right? Okay. But she's getting ready for the wedding, and I'm looking at my watch, and I'm just like, babe, we gotta go. You know, she's like, stop rushing me. And I was like, listen, babe, I could do a lot of things, okay? But I can't stop the sun. Okay.
I just think you're lazy.
I have a similar situation with,
by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Lord Conway.
That is right. Lord Conway.
Every comic that I've ever spoken to in Boston has always said, I've always wanted to be a stand-up comic.
Really?
So I don't think Boston is breeding stand-up comics.
They're lying. Yeah. They don't want to admit their pain. No. They don't want to say, I was touched.
Right, yeah, that's the thing. But Boston,
I want to be it, though.
You know what's funny about
Bostonites don't want to be honest about their pain. That's what it is.
You know how you can tell? You know how you can tell if they're being honest? By their material, okay? If they're like, you have like sparkly jokes, and I couldn't relate to them because I'm like, where's the pain? Where's the pain? There's got to be. You know what I'm saying? If you have happy jokes, most comedians have jokes like, so when I was in Catholic school, and I was the only one the priest didn't touch. You know, so that's how you can tell.
I have been told I'm sort of like if Betty Boop did stand up. That's kind of my vibe. It's like I now I forgot what I was gonna say. I had a response. But no, I definitely would describe my comedy style as kind of like basic bitch, I guess is kind of like what it is. But I think that I do have kind of those sunny happy jokes. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I was talking to my mom about this. She passed away recently.
So did you talk to her before she passed away or after?
Before. I can't get her to talk to me now. I tried the Ouija board.
That was a solid question, GD.
Okay, try the magic 8-ball, but go ahead.
I said to her, Mom, I'm trying to write some new bits. I'm like, can you give me some insight as to like what you think is like messed up about me or wrong with me? And she goes, Allison, you had a totally normal childhood. I'm very sorry about that. Can I?
That's not normal.
She apologized for you having a good childhood.
I wish you had more problems that you could discuss. But honestly, I have a mother who, when she was alive, really did not get along with my husband, and that's what a lot of my material, not on the Paul Santo show, but that's what a lot of my material is really about. It's about my mom, me, and my husband all lived together, and they did not like each other, and I was kind of stuck in the middle, and that's a lot of what my comedy has been about. My husband also has the same first name as my father, so you can insert obvious jokes there.
Now, the quote, the ex-boyfriends that your mother liked better than your husband, how many of them are fictitious and how many of them are based on actual exes that your mother actually liked better than your husband? You're doing the math in your head.
I talk about two of them. They were both based off of real guys. So the guy who was unemployed for 13 years, he was a real guy. And it was funny because he was a musician, and my mom would always say things like, "Oh, he's never going to make it as a musician. He's never going to make it as a musician." And then once I married my husband, she's like, "Whatever happened to that guy? You know, he could be a producer, but you don't know. He could be a studio."
Now, did she say, "Whatever happened to that Matt Napo guy"? Did she?
Yeah, you had to go there, didn't you? I can tell you what happened to that guy. He is working for $150 at the local bar this Saturday night. I mean, basically, I think your mom was right about him. He's never going to make it as a musician. Nobody makes it as a musician.
But it's just it's so funny that's what she was like. But it really those jokes are all based off of reality. I am a fifth wife. I joke about that my husband has been married 5 times. That's all true.
So he doesn't have to go to Vegas to gamble. He gambles at the altar.
Exactly.
No shit. Man, I'm on number 3. Not dude.
It's not a competition. It's not a competition, Willie. She wins.
No, she does. Yeah, that's.
When I was a young man, I had a girlfriend, and her mother told her, "Get away from him. He's a musician. He's never going to make anything of his life. He's going to be a loser." And she was right. But also the fact that it brought me some joy that when, like 2 weeks after she told my girlfriend that, my girlfriend went to visit her father, who was at a hotel. Her father was a pilot. She went to visit him, and he was with a 17-year-old girl in his hotel room. And ended up the mother's marriage fell apart. It's like, yeah, that's what you get for calling me a loser. Anyway, so, I guess your mother has to apologize for not abusing you more and not giving you more comedic material to work from in your childhood. That's a big part of it. Scars and damage. That's why Will's so funny, because he's just like a ball of abuse and
He's like Will is like if Teddy Ruxpin had a crack problem. He don't shut up. He just keeps running and running, and every story is more painful than the last. It's like
absolutely true.
That's fucking beautiful.
Is there a danger in being success? You know, does success ruin comedy? That's because that was the podcast Cringe guy was talking about. All these comedians who they're funnier when they're on their way up because they aren't rich and famous yet. Once they reach this level of rich and famous, things get too easy, and it becomes hard to find stuff to be funny about. Do you think there's anything to that?
I don't think that that's really true. I mean, I'm just thinking of the comedians that I really enjoyed. If I go back to like Chris Rock, I mean, he's a very successful guy, and I think he's hilarious. Granted, I didn't know about him until he was already successful, so I don't know what he was doing before that. Correct. But I think that I don't think so. I think no matter where you are in life, however successful you are, if you have demons and or they'll follow you, or that comes with its whole other set of problems. You know what I mean? Like being rich and successful. So I feel like no matter what, you always probably have some sort of issue or problem to work out. I think the trick is making it relatable to other people who aren't in that position, right? So you hear someone like Chris Rock, right? He talks about how rich he is, right? He talks about that, and he makes it relatable and enjoyable to watch. So I don't think that really.
You know what? Chris Rock is a guy who somehow has remained extremely humble despite all his success.
Well, the occasional slap in the face will do that.
Let me just let me just say goodbye to Govs because while you guys can carry on, but I have to say goodbye to Govs right now and let them off the network. So you guys can carry on without me while I.
Okay, Alice.